Welcome back to World Decoder, where we unveil the hidden secrets behind the most expensive and advanced technologies on our planet. Imagine holding $400,000 in cash right now. That is enough money to buy a brand new Lamborghini Aventador. You could purchase a luxurious suburban mansion with a pool, but in the US military, that sum buys just one helmet. This is not your average protective gear designed for simple impacts. This is the F-35 Gen 3 helmet, a technological marvel. Think of it as a wearable supercomputer, a direct neural interface connecting a human pilot to the deadliest machine in history. For decades, pilots have been the masters of the sky, but this device changes the definition of what a pilot is. In previous generations of fighter jets, pilots were severely limited by the physical airframe and the narrow view of the cockpit. If an enemy fighter was maneuvering directly beneath them, they had to bank the aircraft aggressively or rely solely on radar. But with this $400,000 helmet, the solid steel cockpit suddenly becomes completely transparent to the pilot wearing it. This is made possible by the Distributed Aperture System, a network of 6 infrared cameras mounted around the aircraft's outer skin. Images from the outside are stitched together and streamed directly to the pilot's visor in real time with zero latency. When the pilot looks down at the floor of the jet, he does not see steel, but the terrain below. It is like having the X-ray vision of Superman, removing all physical barriers between the human eye and the battlefield. Day or night, the pilot maintains complete situational awareness, seeing threats that would otherwise remain hidden by the aircraft's own body. The most expensive feature of this helmet is the advanced augmented reality technology that replaces the traditional heads-up display system. Crucial flight data like airspeed, altitude, and targets are no longer fixed to the front dashboard, but float in space. No matter where the pilot looks, the vital information travels with him, ensuring he never loses track of the mission status. If a missile is approaching, the warning does not just beep. It visually appears right before his eyes, demanding immediate reaction. But the most insane capability is the look-to-shoot system, which fundamentally changes how aerial dogfights are fought in the modern era. In the past, a pilot had to physically maneuver the entire aircraft to point the nose at the enemy to lock. Now, the F-35 pilot simply needs to glance at the adversary. Sensors track his eye movements and lock the weapons instantly. Internal sensors monitor the exact position of the pupil, translating the human gaze into a digital command for the missile systems. A missile can now be launched at a target located far off to the side, simply because the pilot looked there. A single glance can determine the fate of an entire enemy squadron, giving the F-35 pilot an unfair advantage in combat. You might wonder why they cannot just mass produce these helmets to save money. The answer lies in the extreme precision required. Each $400 helmet is custom made for a single specific pilot. It cannot be worn by anyone else. The manufacturing process begins with a full 3D scan of the pilot's head structure, capturing details down to the millimeter. The distance between the pupils is measured precisely to ensure the two projected images overlap perfectly for that specific individual's eyes. If the helmet alignment is off by even a fraction of a millimeter, the pilot will suffer from severe motion sickness. In the middle of a high-speed dogfight, a misaligned image could cause the pilot to lose spatial awareness and crash instantly. The internal liner is laser cut to match the unique bumps and shape of the pilot's skull for maximum stability. To achieve this performance, the helmet is constructed entirely from advanced carbon fiber, making it incredibly strong yet surprisingly lightweight. Weight is a critical factor. Every gram matters when the aircraft is performing maneuvers that exert 9 times the force of gravity. Under 9 Gs, a heavy helmet would become a lethal weight, potentially snapping the pilot's neck during a sharp turn. Previously, pilots had to manually attach heavy night vision goggles to the front of their helmets before flying in darkness. The F-35 helmet integrates night vision directly into the visor system, eliminating the need for external attachments and manual adjustments. This allows the pilot to transition from day to night operations seamlessly, maintaining that godlike vision 24 hours a day. It represents the ultimate fusion of man and machine, where the boundary between the biological and the digital completely dissolves. $400,000 is the price tag to turn a mortal human into an entity with supernatural sensory capabilities. However, this immense power comes with a terrifying risk. What happens if the complex electronics inside the helmet suddenly fail? Without the digital overlay, the pilot is effectively blinded in certain scenarios, losing the tactical advantage that keeps them alive. In the heat of battle, a system reboot or a software bug could be the difference between a successful mission and disaster. As this technology matures, we must ask ourselves, are we ready for a future where our reality is constantly augmented? World Decoder poses a question to you. If this technology were commercialized, would you pay a fortune for X-ray vision? Or do you worry that we are slowly replacing our natural instincts and biological senses with expensive, dependent electronic systems? There are many more incredibly expensive objects hiding secrets that we have yet to uncover in our upcoming episodes. Do not forget to hit subscribe to join World Decoder as we unravel the mysteries of the world's most expensive objects. Let us take a deeper look at the sensor fusion technology that makes the helmet communicate with the aircraft's central computer. The helmet does not work alone. It acts as the primary display for the massive amount of data collected by radar. Pilots can see a three-dimensional map of the terrain, allowing them to navigate through canyons and mountains in total darkness. Engineers spent years reducing the latency to near zero, so the digital image moves exactly when the pilot moves his head. All of this data and power is transmitted through a specialized cable interface that must detach safely if the pilot ejects. In an emergency ejection, the connection must sever instantly to prevent the cable from snapping the pilot's neck during exit. Despite the electronics, it is still a helmet. It must survive high-impact crashes and protect the pilot's head from debris. The visor itself is made of polycarbonate material strong enough to withstand bird strikes or debris if the canopy shatters. It also features 3D audio. If a missile comes from the left, the warning sound is heard only in the left ear. This spatial audio cue allows the pilot to react instinctively to threats without needing to look at a visual indicator first. We have come a long way from the leather caps and goggles of World War II to this digital combat system. Communication is key. The helmet uses active noise cancellation to clarify voice commands amidst the deafening roar of the engine. It is not just a display, it is a life support system, delivering oxygen and pressure to keep the pilot conscious. When critics complain about the cost, the military argues that the survival of a trained pilot is worth every single penny. Training a fighter pilot costs millions of dollars. This helmet is the ultimate insurance policy for that human investment. The aesthetic of the helmet has also become iconic, resembling something out of a science fiction movie or a video game. Other nations are rushing to copy this technology, but the American F-35 helmet remains the most advanced currently in operation. Unlike old helmets, this one can be upgraded with software updates, adding new features without changing the physical hardware. Future updates may allow pilots to command swarms of drone wingmen simply by looking at them and issuing silent commands. Pilots must spend hundreds of hours in simulators just to get used to the overwhelming amount of information displayed. Information overload is a real challenge. The brain must learn to filter out the digital noise and focus on combat. When not in use, these helmets are guarded securely. They are classified military secrets that cannot fall into enemy hands. The technology inside is so sensitive that strict security protocols are followed whenever the helmet is transported or stored. As the pilot straps in and lowers the visor, he leaves the human world behind and enters a digital battlefield. The roar of the engine signals the start of the mission, but inside the helmet, it is a world of quiet data. Whether taking off vertically or from a carrier, the helmet provides the precise telemetry needed for these dangerous maneuvers. Looking down at the shrinking carrier deck through the floor of the jet is a surreal experience for every new pilot. At 30,000 feet, the $400,000 helmet proves its worth, giving the pilot dominance over the entire sky. See-through vision, augmented reality, and eye-tracking targeting. It is a trinity of technologies that defines the future of aerial warfare. It is a masterpiece of engineering, a controversial expense, and a lethal weapon, all wrapped into one carbon fiber shell. We leave you with this final thought. Is this the peak of human ingenuity, or have we made war too abstract? If you enjoyed this deep dive, check out our other videos decoding the secrets of the world's most fascinating machines. Share this video with a friend who loves aviation or technology, and let us know in the comments what to decode next. Your support helps us continue to bring you high-quality documentaries about the hidden world of extreme engineering and cost. Thank you for watching this episode. We are working hard on the next big reveal, so stay tuned for more.